Welcome back, everyone. You're listening to What on Earth is Happening here on Oracle Broadcasting. I'm your host, Mark Passio. My website, whatonearthishappening.com. We are taking a break today from our regularly scheduled D programming to bring you some great guests live from the Nikola Tesla Energy Independence celebrations for 2012 right here in Philadelphia. I have two guests for this segment. Both conference attendees, Rebecca Higgins, who is a mixed media visionary artist, and graduate nurse Kevin Stanley. I'm going to go to Rebecca Higgins first. Rebecca, I'd like to ask you what got you interested in Tesla and his technologies. I'd also like to ask how you heard about the conference and what you think of the festivities so far.
Well, we only have a short time, so I'll do my best. But about 23 years ago, I came across the work of Robert Becker in the body electric and promise of electromedicine, which I think is very interesting. That Kevin and I were just talking about the health benefits of some of this research. And through that and through a long process, I've always been interested in energy work and consciousness as my work. And I think that Nick asked me to speak tonight, I think, as a kind of another voice, not a science or engineering voice, and coming to an interest in Tesla's work. And I was very interested in his I think that, scientists and engineers and artists are very similar in the sense that we go to associative thinking in terms of problem solving and invention. And I think we have a lot to give each other. And I think, in finding Tesla's work, I was just so fascinated by this guy. Why don't we know anything? I mean, this is 17 years ago, and I can't remember if I found a book and then found him on the internet, or if I found him on the internet and then found the books, but I just remember just researching him, and why doesn't anybody know about this person? And I was also very interested in mind tech at that point. So light and sound systems and things like alpha stim, CES, cranial electrical stimulation, neurofeedback systems, things that help creativity, that help heal, that expand consciousness. And I think, like many artists, we set out with this ideal to learn everything, to know everything. It's impossible, but that's what we want. And I think that this kind of a conference just really appeals to me. I really, though I am a lay person in terms of the science and the math, a lot of it's over my head. I think that the concepts are very profound, and I think that the way that his work can change our imagination and how we think about things and free up our resources so that people can focus on things like art and creativity and invention and improvement. So it's been a really wonderful experience for me so far to be here.
That is really great. Glad to hear that. And that is what this is all about. It's about bridging science and spirituality. It's about combining that logical left brain linear approach that helps us to interact with the physical world with the creative, imaginative, and intuitive right brain that is the spiritual aspect of ourselves, and bringing those together and bridging that seeming divide. That's what really makes us truly holistic beings. So let's go to Kevin. Kevin, you work directly in the health field. I would like to know how you got involved with researching Tesla and his work, and maybe some of your thoughts about how some of Tesla technologies can be used in the field of health.
Well, when I was 9 or 10 years old, I used to play a computer game called Command & Conquer, and one of the weapons that the player would build to defend the base was a Tesla coil, and another was the Death Ray to basically defend your army and kill your enemies and also make enemies. So this is sort of how I indirectly became introduced to Tesla, and over the years I became more interested in free energy technologies because I became more environmentally conscious. Now, as a graduate nurse, regarding the health of the public and the environment, we are shamefully still dependent on oil and environmentally destructive combustible fuels. It was Nikola Tesla's dream to create a world where free energy technologies would be readily available to the masses. However, our profit-based monetary system has suppressed and still prevents this from happening to this day. Free energy technology and non-polluting technologies have been around for quite some time and are still being developed today. But shamefully, oil and coal and the major electric companies dominate the system, which prevents us from putting these into action because they're not economically viable. So in a health perspective, when I look at this possibility of having a future without pollution, a future without environmental destruction, I see it as the ideal world that not only we as a species would want, but as our energetic messiah, Tesla, gave us the vision to create. And conferences like the one I'm at now, the Nikola Tesla Energy Independence Conference, are one of the beautiful things that helps put this out public, in addition with the internet, which is where I found out about it, because when I became extremely interested in things like the Venus Project, the Zeitgeist Movement, I definitely found the Nikola Tesla Energy Independence Conference and any other group that was associated with it, and wrapped my mind around everything I could. And I'd encourage everybody who's interested in, helping the world and preserving the future of not only our species but the rest of the species on this planet, I'd encourage everybody to do as much research as they can via the internet. And that's what I got.
Thanks so much, Kevin. Very profound. And that just sums it all up. As I've said a million times, and probably will say a million more before it's all said and done, you have to understand, ladies and gentlemen, that the control of energy is the control of human beings. If we're really going to be free, if we're really going to live free, we have to generate clean and sustainable energy in a form that nature really provides all around us. To tap into those natural systems, not polluting systems that destroy and denigrate the environment that we need to live, but to, as Tesla said, harness the wheelwork of nature and work in harmony with it. So, Kevin, you did a great job in summing that up. I had the pleasure of talking to both of you guys a little bit before earlier today, and hopefully you guys will stay involved with the Tesla Club and the Tesla Science Foundation as members, and continue to be involved in bringing Nikola Tesla's work and legacy to other people through communication and the arts. So I'll turn it back over to you guys, and any last words you'd like to say to the audience?
I'd just like to thank you for doing the interview and bringing this out here. And I think that, just to key in on what Kevin said earlier, I think it's very important, and some of the speakers here, that people understand that this technology exists now, that it's not future pie in the sky, that it's existed for a long time, that it exists now, and that it's really can be directly applied. And we just kind of keep working to make people aware of that.
That's right. Mm-hmm. Kevin, final words?
Inform yourself. Look on the internet for the information. It's all out there.
We have to do it ourselves, folks. No one's going to hand it to us. The answer is saying no to the corrupt system, the corrupt energy paradigm that's out there, and building a new one. Stay with us, everyone. More great guests to come. You're listening to What on Earth is Happening here on the Oracle Broadcasting Network.